Here's what I would do if I were famous, or if I ever did become famous. I would, first of all, help anyone out there who has been just greatly deprived and underprivileged, like me. Or I would, in other words, help anyone who has been stuck in the same position, same trap, same prison that I have been for so many years. Too long to the point where I shouldn't even really still be here. And also, I would, even if I were famous, I personally would not ever want to become friends with anyone who has been spoiled rotten and privileged, either growing up as a kid or a teenager. Even if I were more spoiled than any kid or teenager, I still wouldn't want to become friends with people like that. I would not want to become friends with the kind and type of people I've just hated for so long. And if I were to become friends with people, I would only become friends with people who are deprived, so I could help them get some shit, to get their name out there, to become a someone, to be a somebody, to get their foot in the door, to help them out a bit, to give them some support, to give them some backup, to give them some leverage. I mean, that's what I would do personally if I were famous and crazy, insane rich. Because I would not hog all that money to myself. I mean, of course, I would even help my parents and many other people in my family. Like 2 of my sisters who are in debt, older sisters, and my parents, I would try to pay them back for everything I have ever broken of theirs. And I mean, I would probably even give them enough money in order for my dad to finally retire from his from his hell on earth job. And I would totally and completely help him or help them out with whatever it is that they would need help with, however much money it would cost. And also, of course, I would volunteer, either when I'm not working, when I'm not either making a movie or not making a rap album or something, and just doing nothing. I would totally volunteer at homeless shelters and whatnot. And of course, if I were famous, I'd get married and have kids. And if I get to marry the girl of my dreams, whoever that may be, I would have probably many kids with her. As long as I can at least financially afford having a lot of kids. Like if I'm a millionaire, I can totally do it. As a billionaire, I could definitely do it. And anyway, I mean, if my dad ever needed or wanted to start his own company, or at least have just enough money to retire and live off the money I give him, I would even do that. I would do that, like give him $1 million, $2 million, whatever, because I feel like I owe him it anyway for all the pain and misery and hurt that I have probably caused him, the toll I have probably caused him emotionally and mentally as his oldest son, being not a very good one. But yeah, I would not ever become friends with people who are spoiled. Even if I were famous, filthy rich, and even more spoiled, I would never. So don't count on it. I would only become friends with people who are deprived, so I could help them out. And I don't want to help. I don't want to be friends with people who never had to work for shit, who just had shit handed to them throughout their childhood for their birthdays and for Christmas, maybe even for Black Friday or Easter, maybe even. I would never want to be friends with those motherfuckers, no matter what. No matter how rich or how spoiled I became, I would still never become friends with those kind of people. My hatred for them would still be the same. It would still probably remain, at least to a certain extent. And so yeah, that's pretty much all the things I'd do if I were famous. And of course I'd travel. I'd spoil myself rotten, as I deserved to be so long ago. And, or in other words, should have been. And I'd probably get some pets, dogs, cats, fish, or whatever. Who knows? And it's only if that ever happens. And I would also buy a shit ton of Enjoy Life gluten-free cookies and rice milk. And when I would go to the store, I would spend like $200 or even at the most $500 every time I would go grocery shopping. $600 maybe even. If I'm a millionaire, I would most definitely do that, because there's so much food I want. And if I were rich, I'd buy it. I would buy it. And the last thing I would do if I were famous is I would not ever get my kids shit, except maybe toys, books, comics, clothes, of course, food, obviously, and I would obviously buy them movies and TV shows as well, but I would never buy them any electronics that they can just have and be spoiled rotten. If I ever have children of my own, I do not want them to become or turn out like most goddamn kids and teenagers in this crazy, insane, evil, wicked, messed up, screwed up generation.